Hello guys, it's Verzikten here. Today I have very interesting clips. Please enjoy and I'll see you on the next video.
How's it going, everybody? Alright, well, we're back. I went to TwitchCon, so that was pretty fun. And I got back yesterday, but I was super tired, so I kind of just went to bed. I feel like at TwitchCon I barely ate and barely slept. But, you know, we survived. We survived a bit, so that was cool. Cool hoodie. It's Lily's merch, I think. So, what merch you wearing? It's from Lily's, like, concert or something like that, I think. But anyway, we're back in LA, guys. I mean, back in Vegas, guys. Well, we probably actually will be back there soon, but that was longer than the NYC trip. It was? I actually feel like it might not. Was it? Might have been. I don't know. Either way, it's not bad to take occasional trips. And I'm going to be honest, guys. It was less of a break and more of a, you know, whole thing. It definitely didn't rest a whole lot. But anyway, there's a bunch of things that happened earlier today, so I'm not even late to stream because I planned on streaming at 2. So I guess technically we're not late, but I thought I was going to be done earlier, but then I wasn't because of some other issues we had today. So that's the whole thing. But long story short, we're technically we're here is what matters. And even better, I actually tried to write down some notes so I can actually tell TwitchCon stories. Because usually what happens is I remember like 2 stories, forget everything, and then actually, what's it called? Slowly tell stories, or someone else does at some point. I didn't take a lot because I forgot, but you know, at least we'll be able to like say some things, and hopefully that's it. I will say this though, guys, we're going to try and do it once, and that's going to be it. Because I feel like what usually happens after a convention is I'll like start off the stream doing this, not everybody's here, and then I'll have to tell the same story again later in the stream, or even multiple times within like an hour. So what we're going to do instead is just tell it the one time, and that's going to be it. So everyone who showed up early, thanks for showing up early. You guys are going to hear it all live pretty much, I guess, and that's what we're going to do, just so I don't want to keep retelling the same old story kind of thing. Okay. But anyway, I'm definitely going to miss stuff. I'm just going to try and remember as best I can. What I will say is I didn't plan on going the first day. I was originally going to go on the 7th, which was, I think, Friday. And then I was just going to go on the 7th to the thing, and then everybody apparently was going on the 6th. So I was like, well, I guess I could go on the 6th if everybody's going on the 6th. Just because, like, you guys know I like streaming with my friends and stuff like that. So, it'd be tough if everyone's gone, you know? Am I really just gonna sit at home playing games by myself when everyone's gone? Well, I know some people did that, but I didn't want to do that. So I was just like, sure, I'll go, but I need to find a place to live. So, Buddha told me I could just stay with him for the first night. So I was like, okay, I'll go on the 6th. I think I woke up, got ready as quickly as I could, and just Ubered over to Buddha's house. And then a bunch of people were there. I think like Sab, I forgot I think it's Speedy. I think it's Speedy. If it wasn't, then that'll be awkward. But there's a whole bunch of people there, a bunch of GTA friends. And we all just went. So that was pretty cool. There's like certain things I don't want to talk about other people too much, just in case, like, I don't know. I don't want to get them in trouble. But anyway, so wait, Saeed, is that not Speedy? I thought that was Speedy. If I got it the wrong person, then maybe not. Is that it is? Oh, okay, good, because I thanked him for funding the casino for us, but so we went there, and I went a day early, and basically the first day we were just hanging out with a lot of the GTA boys. We ate a lot of food. We went to this really bad restaurant. I'm not going to lie. And Tony felt terrible because he reserved the restaurant for us. And I think it was just because there's a lot of people there. We went to a really bad restaurant is all I'm going to say. Well, actually, okay, it wasn't bad. It was just severely overpriced. But you know, that's okay. That's okay. The roast, I mean, Tony said the same thing. You never really know till you go there. And he just felt so guilty. It wasn't like terrible. It was just a scam. Wow. Okay. Listen, there's no, there's not really many ways to make this better. I mean, and he'll tell you the same thing. It was like, you know, not the greatest. But that's okay because we were all hanging out with our friends, and that's really what matters. What restaurant, guys? I don't want to get flamed, but it's for sure not the greatest restaurant. I don't want to say the name of it for obvious reasons. But yeah, it was an absolute scummaz. So that was a thing. But pretty much the first day, I think we just we like ate a bunch of food, and Tony wanted to get a yacht, so that was kind of funny. I feel like Tony always encourages us to do the craziest things. Like I think EDC last year, he told us to get a helicopter, and that was crazy. He just really likes fancy stuff, and you know, that's okay. The yacht, yeah, apparently it happened twice. They just rented, and I think Tony paid for all of it. He's just crazy. But I think he posted a picture too on the Bird app or something. I took a picture of the boys sitting on the boat. It was kind of cool. I think Tony posted that, so that was cool. Let's see. He really liked the boat. Oh, it was definitely cool, but man, let me tell you, boats are not cheap. But it was cool. I think once in a while, like everyone's, you know, you don't have the whole squad together most of the time, so that was pretty cool. It's a good photo. Yeah. But anyway, basically the first day we didn't do a whole lot. We were just eating food, trying to get settled, and that was most of it. The weird things that did happen, though, on the first day was I was walking around the hotel, and one of the first people I met was this guy. He just walks up to me. Have no idea who he was. He wasn't, like, wearing a Twitch uniform or anything. He said, "Oh, hey, Sykkuno." I'm like, "Oh, hello." Shake his hand. He's like, "I'm the guy who spelled your name wrong on the email." And I was like, "Oh, well, well, hey, I just thought it was a funny story. Like, you know, hope, I mean, I guess since you're here, you're not in trouble, like, with Twitch, right?" And he was like, "Oh, no, it's fine." And I'm like, "Yeah, well, hey, I just thought it was a funny story, man. Didn't mean to, you know." And it was really awkward. It was just very, very awkward for me. But, you know, that's okay. It was actually extra funny. But, yeah, I met the guy who spelled my name wrong. He honestly seemed like a pretty cool guy. And, I mean, like I said, it was probably an accident. It just ended up being a funny story. But it was funny that was, like, one of the first guys I met at TwitchCon. So that was the whole thing. Let's see. At least he knows your name now. He did call me Sykkuno. So, I mean, I think he knew it was probably just a typo. And it was a funny story at the end of the day. So that was kind of funny. And then the other thing that was funny was there's this stream sniper in Fall Guys. Hold on, I'm trying to open my scuffed notes. There's this stream sniper in Fall Guys that me and Foolish would always notice and make fun of. Well, Foolish would do most of the making fun of, just saying. And I met her and I sent a picture of her name tag to Foolish. It was really funny. So we met the stream sniper too. And then the burger? What burger? I'm confused, but yeah, it was Amanda, guys. The old stream sniper Amanda. That was really funny. Did not expect that to happen. Let's see. Okay, so basically what happened was I think there was some kind of party, I think that night, and I don't think I was even invited to it actually. So, oh man, this is such a bad story. Do I even tell this story? Yeah, I probably should. Why not? Okay, so basically, we just had dinner with all the GTA boys. And then there was like a party. I forgot which one, but I wasn't invited to it actually. Or maybe I was and didn't get the email or something like that. So I was messaging people and I was like, "Hey, can you get me in as a +1 to the party? Like, I don't think I'm invited. I don't know how to get in." Phase, no, that wasn't on Friday, was it? Or Thursday. It was a different one. I don't even remember which one it was, but it was one that like Buddha and a bunch of people were going to. And then like, I was just like, "Guys, can you get me in? Because I don't think I was invited." And then my friend was like, "Yeah, I can get you in as my +1. And basically what happened was we showed up at the party and they saw me in the line And they're like, oh, wait, I know that guy. And they let me skip the line, gave me a VIP wristband. And I was like, I'm not on the list. Like, is this okay? And then they're like, yeah, this is fine. We know you. Don't worry. And I just got in somehow without like reserving. And then the really awkward thing is the person who was supposed to be bringing me in as a +1 had trouble getting in. So we ended up leaving anyway, just because it's really awkward. And we hung out like somewhere else. But that was the most awkward thing ever because I wasn't even invited to the party. And I was just like, yeah, guys, please. I was like sending messages around. I was like, guys, please, let me get in the party. Can you get a +1 in? And then we show up and then they just see me and let me skip everything. And it was really, really awkward. And then they had trouble getting in a little bit. And that was awkward. But basically what ended up happening was I felt really bad. So I just left and we ended up hanging out with a different group somewhere else. And Buddha went to the party with everybody still. Was it Blau? It was not Blau. But basically Buddha went to that and I was just hanging out somewhere else because I felt guilty that happened a little bit. And then the really awkward thing is I was staying in Buddha's room, right? Because I didn't plan on staying on the 6th. So my hotel just wasn't available. So I was like, yeah, I'll just sleep on the floor. I don't care. Like, if you guys remember the Coachla thing, I slept in the closet on the floor. It's not like I don't have super high standards. Like, I'm pretty chilling most of the time. So he got back before I did. Like, they gave me the room and everything. So I just came back when I did. And they were already, like, passed out from, I guess, from drinking or something. And I came back, like, later than them. So, like, I scan the thing, open the door, lights are all off, and, like, there's not a single noise. Except for one light that was straight up broken that wouldn't turn off. And I thought maybe they left it on for me. Turns out it was just broken and wouldn't turn off. But so I go inside, and him and Abby are both asleep already. And I'm like, well, I'm a guest, and I really don't want to wake them up. So I, like, slowly unzip my luggage, like, the slowest possible so it doesn't make noise. And I'm like, bzzz. It makes, like, a slight noise. I look over, and I'm like, did I wake them up? Because it was a small hotel room. It was, like, not a very nice hotel room, no offense. So I'm, like, very slowly opening this. Like, 30 minutes later, I get the whole thing open. And then I lift up the luggage to, like, because it splits in half, right? Lift it up and I drop it. It just makes a loud noise. And I'm like, did I wake him up? But he just, like, he rolled over and seemed like he was still asleep. And I was like, okay, well, I guess that's fine. And then, like, I didn't want to make too much noise. So I take my toothbrush out. I have an electric toothbrush. But I didn't want to turn on the electricity because I was afraid it'd wake them up. So I'm like using my electric toothbrush. And guys, let me tell you, electric toothbrushes have the smallest, like, I don't know what you call it, like, surface area on the front. So I spend like 10 minutes slowly brushing my teeth with the electric toothbrush not even on. Because I don't know, I guess they don't plan on it, but the brush is really small on electric toothbrushes. So it took forever. I slowly brushed my teeth. I turned the sink on for like a little drip and like collect it with my hands to try and not wake them up. And then I like look around and I remember texting them to like call in a rolling bed. And I didn't see a rolling bed. It turns out they wouldn't give us one because the room was too small. And there's just nothing. And I was like, well, I don't want to make a hassle. So I'm just going to like sleep somewhere, I guess. There's no blankets, no nothing, except for this little beanbag. And it was small, guys. It was like this big, like about as big as my body. So I could like kind of fit on it. And like I kept moving positions. I was like in a fetal position, hunched over like this, trying to sleep. And I didn't have a blanket. So I just used my jacket and tried to use it as a blanket. And it was not working well, but I just did anyway. So for like 3 hours, I was like hunched over on a beanbag. It was kind of bad. Maybe not 3 hours, but it felt like 3 hours. And I was just hunched over in a beanbag for a long time. And then Buddha just randomly wakes up and he's like, I can't sleep like this, man. I woke up for a second and saw you cringed in a beanbag. And then we tried to call over a bunch of stuff and we got a bunch of blankets and pillows and I just slept on the floor. But it wasn't that bad, actually. It wasn't that bad. But that was a really awkward situation. But and then we went down and bought a bunch of water, so that was cool. But yeah, guys, I spent several hours cringed on a beanbag because I didn't have a room and I didn't want to wake anyone up, so I just kind of sat there. But I was a little worried. The worst part though was that the lamp didn't turn off. Like I don't want to flame Buddha at all, but that hotel room was so bad. Like, so it had this lamp like literally in the middle of the room, right? And you can't turn it off unless you unplug it. We tried every single switch, we tried everything, and then I was like, there's got to be a way to turn this lamp off, man. There's got to be. And I'm looking around, I flip every single switch, the lamp doesn't turn off, and I was like, well, I see a wire it's connected to. So I had to like just unplug it from the wall because I felt like I was playing like an escape room or something, looking for the wires connected to the lamp to try and like turn it off because there's no way to turn the lamp off. It was just kind of bad. But that was basically the first night. It was kind of scuffed, but it was pretty fun. Buddha said TSM booked it for. Oh my God, he's flaming TSM. Well, maybe he didn't say it was bad, but I'm just gonna say it was not a great. You turn the black knob, guys. The lamp was on the ceiling. There's no way you could reach it. Like I checked the entire wire, I could not figure out the way to turn it off other than literally just unplugging it from the wall. It was bad, and the worst part was like I don't know. It was so funny because when we were checking in, they're like, "Hey, you've got a king room with a nice view and stuff." Or they described it as a king room with a city view, right? And then the view was literally just blocked by another building that looked like the Phasmophobia high school building. It was kind of not the best room, I'm gonna say. Buddha said it was bad too. Yeah, it's kind of bad. It was really scuffed. I'm gonna be honest. First day was pretty scuffed in general. What kind of ceiling lamp is plugged in? I don't know. It was plugged in on the floor. And it had a wire that just went all the way up to the ceiling, and it was just unturn-offable unless you unplugged it. So it was not great, but we survived, and it was nice that Buddha woke up to do a bunch of stuff. I was so scuffed. Yeah, I was pretty scuffed, and I ended up getting my badge from Poke. Apparently, he just had an extra, so he just gave me one because my badge was bad. I had a community badge with no special treatment. I don't know how Ray and Leslie did it. Well, I know how Leslie did it. I don't know who Ray talked to, but Ray got like all the stuff that like she could just go anywhere. I had a community badge and they just hated me. And I think what's it called? It'll come in later with the how I got kicked out, which actually happened pretty early tomorrow. But Ray just talked to Twitch. Hey, they didn't care about me, but okay, the next thing in my little notepad is basically how I got kicked from the thing. People thought I got banned from the convention. I didn't get banned from it. That's why I deleted the tweet, because I think people were getting very confused. I did get kicked out, though. But basically, this is how it went, right, guys? So Miyoung had an official meet and greet. I wasn't banned for all days. I did get kicked out for that day, though. And I think a lot of people saw this picture on Twitter. I can try and find it. Let's see. There was like security guards absolutely surrounding me. It was kind of scary, and I'm not gonna lie, one of them looked like he was gonna punch me. But let me look it up, and I'll show you guys really quick. But well, I'll pull up the picture later. But let me what's it called? Let me tell you guys how it started. So basically, Miyoung had a meetup, right? And we thought all the roomies were gonna try to meet up there, except for I think Yvonne had like an OTV thing she had to go to. And I'm just going to say, I think most of you guys know that Leslie and Ray had no trouble getting there. I mean, Leslie had a partner badge. Ray had connections. And I was the only, like, potato with a community badge trying to get into a meet and greet. So Leslie and Ray just walked up and said, I need to go there, and got in. So that's great for them. And also, Leslie did this one thing when we were headed there. Leslie did this thing where she would just yell out, Sykkuno, and then people would rush it. I'm just kidding, guys. I barely even got noticed, and I'm just kidding. Can't really say that too much. But basically, Leslie would do this thing where she yells out Sykkuno to get me swarmed, and then people would you would literally see people whip their neck around, be like, what? And I was like, oh God, not this. So, anyway, long story short, Leslie and Ray just walked in and said, let me in, and they got in, and I couldn't believe it. So what happened was I walked in too, and I was like, hey, I'm here for Miyoung's meet and greet. Or I said Kate Katamina, and I was like, can I get in? And I saw Leslie and Ray were already there, right? And I was like, surely I could just get in, right? So I asked them, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, the line's cut off." And I was like, "No, you don't understand. Like, I'm her friend. Like, she wants me to be there. Like, can I just at least, can I talk to her and you'll understand?" They're like, "No, the line's cut off. You can't get in there." And I was like, "No, please, like, I'm supposed to be there. Like, trust me, I'm her friend. We know each other. I literally live with her. Like, let me say hi to her and we can explain all this." And the security's like, "No, the line's cut off. You don't understand. You cannot go here." And I was like, I'm telling you, man, just let me talk to her and you'll understand. And then the guy's like, "No, this is cut off, man. You can't see her." And I was like, please, like, I'm a friend. I don't know what to say. And then he saw my community badge, I guess, and they were like, "Nope." And I was like, "Okay, that's fine. I guess, like, is there any way I can say hi to her, like, later or something?" And they were like, "If you wait here or something, maybe she'll come out after, or you can find her somewhere else in the convention." And I was like, "Okay, well, I guess I'll just wait here then, because that's what they told me to do, right?" I feel like they just thought I was a crazy fan. But they told me to wait there, so I was like, "Okay, I'll just wait here and hope she comes out." They said I can either wait or I can look for her somewhere else in the con. I think they just thought I was a random dude that was a crazy fan, even though I said I was friends with her and I was supposed to be there. So I sat there. Huge lines start showing up, obviously. And then, like, they start getting upset at me because I'm causing a crowd. And I'm like, "I don't know, man. You told me to wait here." So then, like, let me look for this tweet so I can pull it up really quick. Someone posted this. And, like, okay, I don't want to get in trouble, but let me open it in, like, a separate thing so I don't actually get in trouble. But this is posted by someone called, like, a duck or something, to give him credit, but I don't want to pull up the full thing just because I'm afraid of, like, you know, sometimes there's random replies on Twitter that will get you in trouble, so don't want that to happen. Okay, one sec. Oh my god, this looks so bad. Okay, well, look at this, guys. There's this security guard. They start looking behind me. I don't know who took these pictures, but someone was just randomly taking pictures of the security guard sneaking up. I didn't even notice because I was taking pictures the whole time. And then basically, after they told me I couldn't go to the official meet and greet, they're like, "Hey, man, you're starting a big blockage here. Like, you got to have an official meet and greet." What was that noise? Oh, the thing's back. Well, anyway, besides that, they were like, "Hey, man, you're causing a big blockage. Like, you need an official one." And I'm like, "I literally just tried to get into the official one with Miyoung that I was going to be at, and you told me no and said either stand here and hope to see her or find her somewhere else." So I'm standing here. The security starts getting upset. They bring, like, 4 guys to surround me. This guy's doing the actual Arthur meme right here. Look at this guy. He's angry, man. He's angry. He's doing the angry Arthur meme hand like this. And I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just doing what you guys told me to do. I tried to get in the official meet and greet. So they were definitely not happy with me. But basically, long story short, I tried to get into Miyoung's meet and greet because I thought we were doing, like, kind of like a bit of a roomy thing. But they told me no and said I can either wait and hope she comes out or I can find her somewhere else. And I was like, yeah, I'll just wait, I guess, then. Then they got mad at me for waiting because it obviously created a line, so that's a thing. And they kicked me out. They told me I had to leave. They had a lot of people there not looking too happy with me. And that was a thing, yeah. So long story short, it all just went really bad. I'm just going to say I feel like, you know, honestly, I don't blame them too much because, like, obviously they have no idea that, like, well, I feel like they should have at least had known that I was her friend because, like, I told them that. But it was just strange. I mean, Ray and Leslie had no trouble getting in. And then I had a lot of trouble. They told me to wait there. And then I was like, okay, I guess I can wait and hope she shows up. And they told me to leave after I, you know, pretty much I just listened to everything they said and then got told to leave. So that was the whole thing. But I did try to do an official, go to the actual meet and greet thing, but they didn't let me. And then they got mad at me for not having an official meet and greet thing, and even though I tried to go there. But it was funny, so I ain't even complaining. But I wasn't banned for the whole weekend or something. They just told me to leave for that time. And I ain't even gonna lie, I just walked back in. So that's the whole thing. But that's pretty much what happened, guys. And I tweeted out that I got kicked because I did. And but I didn't want to, like, make it worse because I do feel like the security guards obviously didn't know other than me saying, like, I'm supposed to be there. I guess they just didn't believe me. And to be fair, I had a community badge and I didn't look fancy, so they had a pretty good reason to not believe me, I suppose. So I did delete that because I didn't want to make it worse. And even though obviously I did tell them, it makes sense they didn't believe me because, yeah, just community badge, stuff like that. What didn't seem like I was much more than just a crazed fan. Who knows if I was making stuff up or something like that. And honestly, of all the mismanagement, you know, that happened at the convention, at least I didn't get horribly injured somehow, which I heard about. So, you know, I'm going to say I got the light end of it all. That was just like a big inconvenience, but it was just an inconvenience. At least I didn't get, you know, possibly permanently damaged. So I'll say, you know, of all the bad things that may have happened at TwitchCon, that wasn't so bad. So that's the thing, I suppose. But yeah, that's basically how I got kicked out the first time. And I'm just going to say I did get kicked out a second time, but that was on a different day. But that was the first time I got kicked out, and I'm going to say that was mostly not my fault because I just listened to them is all I'm going to say. I was listening to them, I did what they said, and then they got mad at me. So